Update 2 on Hurricane Ida, currently located right around here, as of the 1 p.m. Update as well. It is a Category 1 hurricane now with winds of 75 miles per hour, a central pressure of 987 millibars, and moving almost north-northwest at 15 miles per hour. This is what Ida looks like. You can see the radar parts of it as well. It is now a hurricane. Hurricane warnings in effect for some parts of the western Cuba. This is rapid intensification right now at its work. Ida, let me go back over here. Formed at 4:20 p.m. and has gone up in under 24 hours by 35 miles per hour. If it goes 35 miles per hour in under 24 hours, it is considered rapid intensification. This is rapid intensification here, people. This is the cone. It's shifted a little more westward since our last update video, which also had Nora in it, believe it or not. They are now expecting a landfall most likely west of New Orleans. This is a big problem for big places, such as Lafayette, Lake Charles, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans. In the cone is also Jackson and Meridian, Mississippi, and Tupelo, as well as Memphis, Nashville, Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Montgomery, Atlanta, and Bowling Green, as well as Paducah. Louisville's barely on the outside part of it, and then there's also Frankfort, who's barely on the outside, and Knoxville. But if you live inland, you're fine, okay? If you live inland, you're fine for the most part. You know, Laura, like last year, went made landfall. Where's Cameron Parish? Where's Cameron Parish? Where's Cameron? It's like right along the coast somewhere. There's Marsh Island. Where's Cameron? Water? No, that's not. There's the big lake. Here's Cameron. This is near where Laura made landfall last year. You're on the outside of it if you're in Cameron, but you should still take note, because this thing could shift your way. This is a rapidly unfolding situation here. Right now, you can see the single channel outflow. It seems right here there's only one thing of outflow, meaning the system is breathing well. It's got an outflow band, so it's not going to be an annular system like Felicia or Linda, but this is going to be one of the systems of the year for sure. Remember Grace? I'll mention Grace now. Grace rapidly intensified quite a bit. Grace made landfall in Mexico as a IN Category 3. Update on Nora after this update, by the way. I'm splitting up them so that way I can focus. But yeah, we're going to move over to the infrared satellite imagery and then some notable things from the NHC. Moving to models, I'm using Tropical Tidbits once again. We're going to zoom in. So there's Ida right there. This blob right here, that's Ida. They're expecting, GFS is saying 960 right here, 958, 955, 954. So it's going to be a really intense system when it makes landfall. Probably the strongest of the season if Grace wasn't this strong. And you can see that you could barely see some of the purples and pinks. That's heavy precipitation predicted. And plus, this is 60 hours out, so it's actually somewhat reliable. Moving on, we're going to go to the H-Wharf model. I will be showing you the wind fields on this system, as well as what this model wants. That is 3 hours later. So the H-Wharf is saying the system is gonna make landfall right there in Cuba. It doesn't matter if it's gonna make landfall in Cuba. It's gonna be a strong storm. Now you can see it gets down to 969 millibars right there. Now we're going to go ahead and go further. That is 938 millibars right there. On the contrary, this system is going to be a lot more easterly loaded rather than westerly. And New Orleans is not going to get out of it by the H-Wharf model. 60 hours out, 939 millibars making landfall. So this is definitely going to be a major hurricane at landfall, people. We're going to show you, I'm going to show you the H-Wharf P model. Let's see what this looks like at the bigger picture, if it has it. Okay, and it gave me Nora. Give me Ida. What's that? Oh yeah, invests. Sounding, sorry, Tropical Tidbits just likes to give me soundings. Now, this only has wind fields, so I don't know why, but I want to see what the H-Mon says. And I don't want winds. Do you have 939 not making landfall, a little bit more west of New Orleans, which is good. And this one does not get up to the intensity that some models predict. They're expecting it to meander around, actually. They're kind of expecting it to go like this. Still easterly loaded. And then it's expected to make landfall there, not as intense as the H-Wharf says. And at this point, it's performing rapid intensification, so if it continues to perform it, H-Wharf may be the model that may be right. We're going to see if CMC has the radar thing. And here we go. We have it. It's not really a decent model, if you really think about it, because it's not showing much rain. But they're showing a very rapid one. But they're really just not showing much about that. I'm going to go back to the forecast models. We're going to go to Hurricane, H-Wharf, Ida. And we're going to go check the winds, which is this right here. So I think this is right now. That was before. We're going to see how it's progressed. You could really see it's actually trying to gain some 80-mile-an-hour winds. Here's where it starts rapidly consolidating. That's where it could be a Category 2 by the H-Wharf. Here's where it starts rapidly intensifying. That looks like a Category 3 on the H-Wharf model. And here's the worst part. Those are dots. Right, that's getting to be like high-end Category 4 status, I believe. And the H-Wharf, so let me look at the previous one. Yeah, those are dots. I think that's like right there. That's almost getting up to like high-end Category 4 status. It's darker. They're expecting this to be like a high-end Category 4, maybe a Category 5 at landfall, which is terrible. New Orleans is a major city. If it makes landfall at right where the H-Wharf says, and at this intensity, then it is a worst-case scenario pretty much. I explained that to myself yesterday. The H-Wharf P model doesn't have anything, so we're going to check the H-Mon model. All those wins, and then we're going to check GFS model wins. And it gave me Nora again. Are you kidding me? And I have Ida. Much the same. A little less intense on the wind side of things. But getting up to like Category 4, maybe Category 5 status. Pretty close. So this is really bad news for Louisiana. This if this folds out how it is predicted to by some of these models, this is terrible. Moving to this, is GFS just now starting to perform a run? I swear. They're starting to perform a run now. Why? See what the previous run was then. They still. The GFS is kind of stupid right now, being stupid right now. Okay? 6CMC model. CMC is not really generally materializing the storm well. It seems. So, yes, CMC isn't really doing much about this. This is terrible news for New Orleans. Now, for the extreme walls, we're going to use the NAM3K model again, like the last video. It's going to be a longer video. Just bear with me. Here's now. This is the NAM3KM model. So this is probably the worst model to use. I actually said that in an N8 Snyder stream chat myself. And you can see 916 millibars. That's close to Wilma intensity. Well, getting close to a Maria intensity. There it is at Maria intensity in terms of pressure. And there it is, dropping below 900 millibars. Do not use this model. Only use it if it's going to happen. If this does happen, this is worst case scenario. This goes below 900 millibars on this model run. So there it is at peak. Most likely a category 5. Right there. Expecting it to drop again. And that's all the model has. So there it is, right there. So the NAM3KM model wants a LoRa repeat. Basically. That's this. You see this right here? The NAM3KM model? This is not going to happen. This will not happen. Okay? Plus, it's 60 hours out there, so... Yeah, moving on to the 5-day Atlantic graphic. We are going to see... There's a new AOI right there. Here's one of the invests. And this invest seems to be dying, it seems. Ida is now a hurricane. We will be seeing Ida shortly. We hit it for details. We're going to be giving you the warning cone. So hurricane watches are now in place for the southwesternmost county of Alabama, all coastline counties of Mississippi, and these regions of Louisiana. This is, as of right now, this is expected to be a major hurricane at landfall. Tropical storm warnings for these areas in Cuba highlighted in blue. The areas in the bright red, hurricane warnings. And the pink is the hurricane watches. And over here, the yellow is the tropical storm watches. That is where it is currently located, or near. This is the size of its wind field, right there. This is expected to be a major hurricane. We're checking peak surge, 7 to 11. We are expecting storm surge from near the Sabine Pass, all the way to close to the Alabama-Florida border of at least 3 to 5 feet, and at most 7 to 11 feet. This is terrible, terrible news. We're checking the U.S. rainfall potential. Now, here's the U.S. rainfall potential. Louisiana in particular. You do have to watch this system. This could be a massive rainmaker. There's rain extending all the way just east to just a few miles east of Corpus Christi. So this is going to be a decently large system. Almost like a Laura repeat. You see that pink? That is a lot of rain right there. 15 to 20 inches. Although on the lesser side. Storm surge watches and warnings now. I will be showing you these because those are good. If this... You see these? This is the map. Of it. You see this pink? That is either a warning or a watch. I think it's a watch, but it could be a warning. I'm going to go back now to this. Wind speed probabilities are up there. Arrival time of winds is up there. Wind history is up there. We are now going to go to the key messages. We're going back to the key messages. These are the key messages. Pause if you want to read them all. Pause if you want to read them all, but these are your key messages. This is terrible news for New Orleans, which is going to be affected by this. Now we have some stuff raised for the U.S. itself. This is terrible, terrible news for Louisiana, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Lafayette, Biloxi, and many other places that are going to be near or in the cone. I would say a roof of 140 miles an hour is going to be my roof, since it's already started rapidly intensifying. I've added a ceiling potential at the moment. I had that last night. That was back in the N8 Snyder stream. If you saw me, I said Category 3 is my ceiling. It is now mid-tier. Category 4 is my ceiling now. Category 5 is now back on the table, but it's not likely. If there's a percent chance I want to give it, it's a 1% chance. Very, very low, but it could still happen. Because the Gulf waters are really warm. Anywhere from 86 to 88 to potentially even 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That is warm enough to fan the flames of a strong tropical cyclone. I will see you all in the next update video, which is Nora. Bye.